Just leave the music to us.
Yeah, good everybody. Welcome back to episode 7, the Player Matchup Podcast. Joined today by, same niggas who here every week. You got Howie.
La.
DTV.
What's up?
Hassan.
Rest in peace, Perry. That nigga, damn, it's been what, a whole year? And he's still more than that shit?
Keep the memory alive.
This man got PTSD.
Rest in peace.
Potential stack though.
And I'm
like dick. What's going on with that?
okay then.
That's what you do, bro. I don't know about your potential. That's what your potential reach, not mine. I got potential stack though.
That's
how you stack it though.
You don't like the potential to suck dick. You see Dragon Ball Z.
I never thought about that, bro. That's what you do. That's what you feel me.
So this is how it's opening up, Howie.
Yeah. This is how we started.
I'm on the what you saying?
No, and I was gonna say, and I'm JJmondo. And before we get into the topics, does anybody have any news they want to bring forward today?
Yeah. Crisis got remastered. Crisis is getting a remaster. It's coming for all next gen consoles.
Like PS5?
Next gen as in not PS5, but like
Here's hoping.
current
Here's
gen.
hope-
Yeah, there you go. I fucked up the word. Current gen
Here's
consoles.
hope-
So
They're trying
PS4,
to blow up
Switch.
switches.
Yeah. Switch already can't handle a lot of games on it.
I was just about to say, here's hoping the remaster don't fucking break my PS4.
The Switch version is gonna look like mud.
It's gonna look like shit.
It's gonna look like Dreams, but worse.
Certain Switch games can't handle they can't even run on the Switch sometimes. But like Crisis is different. Yeah.
So, is it only the first Crisis game?
I don't. It doesn't say which. It just says Crisis Remastered.
There's
That's probably
some.
the first one.
It is the first one that's been confirmed, but there's been rumors and leaks that they might be remastering more than one,
So the trilogy.
maybe. And
I ain't gonna buy it.
the first one was
I'm gonna buy it.
poorly fucking
Like 'em.
put together because the engine it was like it could only handle single core processors. It was just built weird.
Mm.
Okay, that makes
The
sense.
other games are still fucking stupid. Like they still want all your power.
All your stuff.
Resources.
But
Everything.
a lot of people are thinking that they're gonna be remaking the first game in their new engine.
hmm
That makes sense.
And the engine.
Oh, they got a new
What?
engine.
Remaking it, and the new engine, or we're making it in a new engine.
In the new engine.
What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like their
I
new engine
I thought you said they were going to remake the game and a new engine.
in a new engine in their new engine.
Yeah, got it.
That's too much, nigga. What you
Yeah,
talking
none of that's coming out then.
about? Yeah. Not anytime soon.
And their new engines, what's it called? What's that new game? Hunt Showdown? Like that? It's in that.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that game looking good.
I've played that. It's fun to play with like another person, but like when you by yourself, you clean up with like random.
How's that game play? Isn't it like an open world game or like?
It's a battle
Crisis,
royale.
yeah.
Hunt Showdown. It's a battle royale.
Punch Showdown. Oh, yeah. I
But
played it.
it's different from other battle royales, where it's like you have characters and they have like certain traits, not abilities, but they have traits. And you can buy weapons, and it actually carries over to the next round. But if you die, then your character is dead. You have to start from scratch.
Fun fact of Crisis: did you know it released 13 years ago on the PC?
13
That
years ago.
is-
You know, my father actually had that game. He built a PC. That was the first game he bought, and he was so proud to show it to me that like he got it working on.
He told us that.
I mean,
Like he built it for
that's not
that game.
That's not
You
a
know,
small feat. That game was hard. That shit melted PCs, bro.
Yeah, back then, like that was the top of the line PC. He gave that same PC to me like a couple years ago. Couldn't even run like Fortnite.
I wonder what version.
Hey, man.
I wonder what version of
Bad.
Crisis 1 they're gonna remaster though, because the console version that was on PS3 and Xbox is different from the PC version.
Also, story
Why
wise,
was the PC version so like hardware demanding?
story wise,
It was dumb, but
Okay.
that's it. It was just fucking dumb. But the console version kind of group together. Like in the PC version, you would choose. Oh, I want to go fast. I want to fucking go invisible. I want to be strong. I want. It was very. You selected which power you wanted. Console version, it was like just stealth mode and attack mode, and that was it. You always had super strength on, super jump on. You were always running fast. PC version, you had to choose those powers. I don't know why they did that for console, because the PC version, it was basically you just pressed the button and a weapon wheel popped up and you chose your ability.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know why they didn't bring that to console.
They probably made it like easier for console, more accessible. Probably why they made that change. I didn't know that. I only played the PC version.
But tons of games have weapon wheels though.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense.
That was also like back then.
When they come out, like 2010,
2013 was when it released on PC.
What, Crisis 1?
Yeah.
No,
it was not 2013.
That's what it says. I'm gonna Google this right now.
It's like the special edition or something like that. It's
so
secret,
2013 is when the PS4 came out, right?
Nanobite Muscle Edition.
Initial release date 2007.
Oh, there you go. I was about to say.
They lied to me in the video.
They lied.
I'm gonna watch it again. Hold on.
Yeah, like the original Crisis had multiplayer. The single player was open. It was like open level, basically free roam. Not really, but it was.
Wasn't the multiplayer like called like Crisis Warhead or something like?
Warhead. Nigga, what?
But a big reason why people think that they're remaking it in their new engine is because they've been releasing a lot of like engine videos and showing off their new engine, and a lot of the videos they're showing off looks exactly like the environments they've been showing off look exactly like Crisis 1. So people are thinking that's what they're doing, which that would be good.
Are y'all gonna buy this?
Yeah.
Can I run it?
Oh, I said 13 years ago, and I confused that with 2013.
You silly goose.
Going to the pond.
The first 21 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the pond.
For the remake, for the remaster.
Speaking about silly gooses, a whole lot of silly situations have been happening recently in the FGC, and I want to ask you guys this question. Do you guys think that situations outside of gaming should affect tournament life for any game?
I feel like people need to stop being sensitive about shit. I mean, yeah, there's like boards hurt, like, but like it's only once you give it power. So individuals are like being very sensitive about stuff.
Okay, my bad, you wasn't done.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so going off what you just said, where words have power, I was like, yeah, it's true, but then
I guess
like only if you let them.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I followed in with it's only like those individuals, only if you let them. Like that's what I'm saying. People need to stop being sensitive.
All right, but like, I mean, yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, if you're a pro player, you're representing yourself every day. Whether you're like going out to eat or something, like wherever you go, you're gonna represent yourself. Even though that's technically your job, and that's not what you'd want to interfere with your personal life. But your personal life is gonna coincide with your gaming life because that's just you. That's just like me going out of work and me going and fighting people at bars and shit, calling people like racial slurs, and then me going to work the next day like, yeah, and everything was fine. Like, no, bro. Like, that's
your work
person
wouldn't want someone like that representing their company.
Yeah,
and that's what basically going on with right now with this whole Evo thing. They don't want someone like that representing what they stand for.
Even if you don't see it as that way, it's gonna happen that way because.
But how are they representing? This is a tournament, like.
Okay,
even if you don't see it that way, it's like that.
Before I go any further, I'm gonna break it down for the people watching in case y'all don't know. There's a situation in the FGC right now between Low Tier God and Zero Blast. We're two Street Fighter players. And on stream, one match, Zero Blast, by the way, is a part of the LGBT community. She is a transsexual woman. And they were playing on stream, and LTG got mad and called Zero Blast a faggot. And then he proceeded to say several like insensitive things like
talking about chopping people's dicks off and shit.
No, yeah, he was saying that if you really about that trans life, then you need to chop off your dick, invert it, throw it inside you, and turn into
What
a
the
pussy
hell?
if you really about it. He's like, stop being like a fake trans, and
What the hell?
yeah, which is like that's some crazy shit to say. And then Cyril Blast was on her stream, and she was saying some about low tier god, and she basically said the N word. She was like,
Oh,
nigga this, nigga that. So this resulted in
now
both of
hold on.
these players have been banned from all tournaments in the FGC.
Let me ask a question. What is this person's nationality or race?
Tiro Blast, they appear to be Asian.
I don't know
Okay.
about
All right.
Because someone was gonna say something. It was right.
He said,
that. I don't know about that.
Okay,
Like,
so-
that's just.
This is how I feel about the situation. I know that low tier god is a troll, and he puts on a character whenever he streams. What he said was still very out of pocket, but to be honest, this man wasn't going to tournaments anyway. He hasn't gone to a tournament in like a year or a couple years.
And he's not going to.
Yeah, and
He's
he's not
going to
gonna
now.
be, and he
Definitely ain't going now.
Yeah, what he said was ridiculous, but at the same time, I don't understand. Like, I don't think people should have been like so outrageous and offended by it, like, because a lot of people in the FGC already don't fuck with low tier god, and I feel like they just are constantly looking for more reasons not to fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? So like they heard about this thing and it was like, oh, let me go look at this. Let me go
They
watch
jumped on
this.
it. Yeah.
They jumped on it and they wanted to be upset. Like they went there looking to be upset. And the whole
But
Cyril Blast thing, like she didn't say it with the hard R. She said nigga, but she from the video I saw, like she was like mocking him more so, like saying, oh, you know that he's gonna say like this nigga that or this nigga this. And the intent of what she was saying was not to be racist. She was just replicating what she thought he would say and like
That's
how
the
he
thing
would
with
speak.
people nowadays.
I mean, but like, she's
it's
not.
2020. Like,
She's not
type
black, so.
thing. I understand
That's true.
that.
So
But, like,
again,
yeah.
that comes down to intent.
Yeah.
What do you mean by intent?
Because nowadays,
Exactly what
like,
it means.
words
Was she
evolve,
intending
So what-
to
what
say
she
something
meant-
racist or intending to impersonate him?
That's what
Even
she was
that,
doing.
even then, it's LTG. He said the F word. You know, that's not a word that you can say now because you're not a part of that community. If you're a part of that community, it's fine. Then you can say it all you want. But people don't say the F word. They don't say, you know, queer. They don't say things. They don't say certain words because they're not part of this community.
Yes,
So
they say
why would you
queer. And even then, fag has always been a slang
Yes,
against it.
but
Against it.
Yes, but people
But-
part of that community say it as a term of endearment to themselves.
They do
Just
that.
like people, just like women call each other bitches.
Yeah, I've heard
But
that.
when we say it, it's offensive.
I've never heard someone in that community that word to
Yeah,
Bro,
no,
people
no,
use people in that community use the word. Bro.
And even then, that comes down again. It comes down to intent. So I don't think it matters there. But what he was saying that out of anger. His intent
true.
there
It was hard
But-
to react.
was anger. It was attacking.
I mean, but
And it's not
She
like he
should-
said that years ago when people dug it up. Like he said this out on stream. He put himself on stream and then said it. So like
that's true.
only one at fault is him because he set himself up for it.
But when she said the N word,
But again, why was she saying it?
even that doesn't matter.
Why?
You shouldn't say
Who
it.
said, whoa?
You
Okay.
shouldn't say it.
This how-
Kassan, you don't say that about Howie though.
I do say that.
No, you don't.
I call Howie Boy all the time.
That's
I
different.
say you shouldn't say that word.
I say it, but like that's because for me, like for my whole
That's
life,
'cause,
I've been
like, you
black
grew
and
around
Spanish
that,
people, like,
yeah.
and we
So-
say
so
shit
again-
all-
so again,
all
right
the
there.
time. Like, it
The
don't
It does
matter.
intent. The intent.
It's the intent. Like I'm not saying it. Like I never said it towards race. Never called anyone like the hard R. like,
Exactly, and that's
you know,
she
like
used
that.
it in the
Yeah.
exact same way Howie uses it. And they
But I mean, I don't know. If she's Asian, she's still ain't gonna. I feel like if it's Spanish,
If you
black,
if you're gonna say it, at least know
that's
what
part
you're
of the
doing.
story.
If you're gonna say the word, at least
I
at the
feel
end of
like
the day, I
if-
can't
if-
stop someone from saying the word.
if someone doesn't want if you don't want the word said, don't say it yourself. If
Nah,
you do, that means you're okay with it being said.
Yeah, the way I feel about the
But
word is
realistically,
I
you're not
feel
gonna
like
control anyone. Like,
Like,
you're not
I feel
control
Like
like-
anyone.
Hassan, you wouldn't come at someone with the hard R yourself because you don't like that being said.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
I see it as the same thing.
So yeah, the hard R is like that's fucked up. Like,
If someone's coming at you fucking with some ill intent, they're trying to be racist, then yeah. Fuck that person.
Yeah. The way I feel about it is people need to stop giving this word so much power. Like when I heard Cyril Blood say it on stream, I didn't feel any type of way about it.
Exactly,
And I was like, honestly, like they banned her from tournaments because they felt like they needed to. They felt like they had to uphold a certain like image or whatever to the company.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these places just auto ban somebody just based on if they said it or not. They don't look at the SD or me and DCV are saying the intent or whatever. What low tier guy said was out of pocket, definitely. I mean, there's really no way to like defend that. He was on his channel talking about how comedians would say faggot all the time and they wouldn't get put on blast for it.
I mean, because they're
like,
comedians. But they do.
Yeah, but they can't. Like,
Ultra God is known for
but like even if he was saying that, they do though. Like Dave Chappelle. I don't know. I remember who it was, but somebody got like a lot of shit for basically saying the word, and basically explaining how he was basically saying what you guys are saying. Well, how the intent is what it is. And there's also a comedian who gets on stage. He's a white man. He says the hard R, and he says A. He says the A version and the hard R. Even though he's joking. Yeah. He gets shit for it, but at the end of the day, nobody, like, you can't stop him from saying it.
Yeah, he was on his channel
talking about it. You should know whether or not you should say it or not, and what place to say it. I just shouldn't say it with a camera in front of your face. Pretty stupid.
He was saying that, like, back in the day, like, remember when you was in school, and you'd be like, oh, that shit is something like that, and people wouldn't get offended. And, like, I see what he's saying, but we don't live in that world anymore.
Exactly.
That's not the world we live in, and what he said was definitely out of pocket. But the thing with him being banned, I feel like there was no reason to do that because he wasn't going to tournaments already anyway. A lot of people in the FGC don't fuck with him, so like, they just did that. I feel like they did that to just shit on him more to make themselves look better.
They did it for. Well, sorry, DTV. They did it for insurance purposes, not insurance as in like regular insurance, but like they did it so in case he was to come, they don't represent that person
because in case, kind of what you saying, but they get ahead of it before anyone else says anything.
Yeah.
Instead of someone coming at them saying, "Oh, why is he still here?" They can't now. They're protecting their own ass.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is.
But so to answer the question,
because
I'm asking you first, do you think situations outside of gaming should affect tournament life? Do you think people should be banned?
Of course, you're representing yourself. That's how like if you're gonna act a certain way and show that type of image, then of course it should affect your image.
Okay, something like that was public, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you another example of something that wasn't public, resulted in a ban. There's a player called Infiltration, one of the best better players in the world. And in the FGC and even on his streams, he would never say anything controversial. But apparently somebody did some digging and they found that he had a domestic violence case against his wife in Korea. And because of that,
when was that though?
The domestic violence case, it was in
I believe
it's 2018 or 2017.
And was the case solved? Was it ruled?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was found guilty.
Okay.
Found guilty in this case, and then once they found out about that, he was banned from tournaments all 2019.
Okay, but that's fucked up because the situation has already been resolved.
Yeah, it was.
So in that point, if it's in the past, then it shouldn't. But they still have to show a reason why. Like they still have to show they're doing something because people are gonna ask, "Oh, why is this guy not being punished for so and so?" So
yeah, like why
I don't think you should, but that's just how companies are. Companies, they don't want to represent someone who's gonna look bad in the limelight.
I also don't feel like it was very like in a situation like that where it's totally outside of gaming, nothing to do with it, and like you said, he was already found guilty, so he was already punished and prosecuted, right?
Yeah.
So for them to now come to the FGC and like kind of prosecute him again, I feel like it's kind of unfair. You know, like
that situation where they don't like the person, so they're gonna exclude him from stuff. That seemed like a personal attack.
No, because the person that dug shit up, they were trying to. That was personal. They were trying to do something against him. Like then it comes down to, they would ban him because they don't want that person representing them at all.
Yeah.
Like it, just like Disney with the James Gunn thing.
Oh yeah.
He got caught with a bunch of rape cases.
No, there's not. He made jokes online years ago on Twitter. There's no rape case. There's nothing like people like that. People started saying stuff like that. Started saying he was a rapist and everything.
Bless you.
Started calling him a rapist for a tweet he made years ago.
Who?
And it was just a joke, and it was nothing about rape or anything like that. And then people started spreading online that he's a rapist, and like you right there, you thought there's a rape case against against the Guardians of the Galaxy director.
I never.
Disney doesn't want that. They don't want those two things associated.
Hey man, listen. There was a guy, like, since we're on the topic of like controversial shit like that, there was a guy who got caught in a high-res developer. He got exposed for like child pornography or something.
No, I was gonna make a joke on that, but damn.
Wow.
He would set up like little kids or some shit, and he would meet them and do what he does.
He's a predator.
Yeah. So they caught him and fired him like as soon as that happened.
Yeah, he should be fired.
Yeah, he definitely should be fired.
That reminds me of that.
Out of a cannon.
Okay, they got him in the act.
Okay, I feel like the situation, depending on the severity of it, how do you say this? The publicity of it, how public it is,
the exposure,
and the exposure of it,
publicity.
And based on whether they were already punished or not for it, I think it all plays a factor into it. Because with the thing with LTG, if LTG was still actively going to tournaments, then I feel like maybe it would have been warranted to like do what they did to him. With Cyril Blast, I feel a certain way towards the N-word, so I have a bias. I don't really feel like people should give it as much power. I don't give the word that much power. It's another word to me. So
it's because you're only a part.
Wow. Okay, Kasson, you say that, but I was still, in my whole life, I was still treated as a color black. I was not accepted by the Hispanic community at all.
I know. I was just joking, bro.
But that's the way I feel about it. DTV, do you think that situations outside of gaming could affect tournament life?
Yeah, but I don't think it's an outside of gaming. I think it's just an outside of work. Yeah, like you said, like if someone
that's your image.
Yeah, it's an image of the company. and then it comes down to, like you're saying, like what happened, what was going on, why would it, what happened afterwards and everything. Mm-hmm. If they were digging up shit, if that thing was with infiltration or whatever.
Infiltration.
That was dug up. When exactly? Okay, that happened 2018.
2018.
And he was banned in 2019?
Yeah, he was banned from all tournaments in 2019.
Yeah.
All right, but like, what exactly was he charged for?
Domestic violence.
Domestic abuse.
So what was he swinging?
Not domestic abuse. Domestic
violence.
Oh,
I thought it was abuse.
No, and he was found guilty. And from what I was reading up, Korea's law system is not like America's. Like in America, if a woman accuses a man of domestic violence, the courts are already on her side. And Korea is the opposite. If you accuse a man of domestic violence, you have to bring evidence, like solid evidence against him, or else the woman will be found guilty. Like it's stacked up against the claimant in Korea.
Then he still got fucked. All right, good.
Yeah.
But
so that means that so like even with the odds on his side, he was still found guilty.
So
that's funny.
I think it's wrong that it was dug up, because I feel that Evo, whatever tournaments, if they plan to ban people for stuff like that, they should do some of that searching themselves.
They should.
So it's kind of like, know who you're representing before you ban them for shit like this. But it's also but it's also understandable why they would do it, because again, they don't want something like that coming out and saying, "Oh, he's still a face of our tournament in some shape or form." Like I get it. I think it's wrong depending on who it. Like with low tier god. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with him being banned.
Because what he said was like out of pocket. I mean, he knew what he was saying was out of pocket. You have to understand.
He put himself out there and then said that with what's the whoever he was talking about. That I didn't see the video, but how you said it, how you described it, it sounds like she was just impersonating what he would end up saying. Like he'd say this like that. She probably shouldn't have said that, but that is like again comes down to intent, which people like to ignore nowadays. They don't give a shit about context anymore.
Exactly.
So to me, I don't think she should. But yeah, I don't think she should. I think he should. An infiltration, that's understandable. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think what happens outside should matter inside.
Okay, so let's just say, I'm just giving an example. Like, let's just say me, right? I'm a pro player or whatever. I'm just talking on stream, right? Just regular talking.
Yeah.
And then, blah, blah, blah. I make a joke with a racial slur in it. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna say what it was because it can be whatever. Any racial slur. I make a joke. Now it's recorded. So now they have it on file. So now they're gonna prosecute me, basically, for what I said.
You called
but do you think, whatever, do you think that I should be punished for what I said, even though it's a joke? Because that's context.
It depends on the joke.
Yeah.
But it's a joke.
No, it depends on the severity of it. Like,
but it's a joke. That's the context. I didn't mean any harm by it. It's a joke.
You didn't even say like what the joke is. Like what
I said it. I said a racial slur and a joke. The joke is obviously offensive enough for people to report me for it. So
but like I can go a bunch of different ways with what you're saying. Technically, what Cyril Blast said is she said the N-word, which people consider as a racial slur, but she said nigga, and the way she said it was not, or at least to me, it was not offensive. Like,
exactly. Okay, so that's what I said.
She wasn't calling anybody else a nigga. She was like,
Kassan, she wasn't saying a joke though. She was impersonating what she knew he would say. Okay, so at that moment, she wasn't saying what she would say. She was saying what he would say. So the context of that is she didn't say it. He did, but from her mouth. That's the context of what happened.
Okay. I just feel like it's the same thing, honestly. You said it.
I don't feel that way. I feel like people stop giving that much power. Howie, I haven't asked you the question yet. Howie, do you think situations outside of gaming or outside of work, like DTV said, should affect tournament life?
No. Yes and no. I feel like if you're beefing with someone online or whatever in public and outside of a tournament, that shouldn't really affect what goes on in the tournament. Depending on, unless like the severity of like whatever the fuck you did, like you stabbed somebody and like then like you got like a warrant on you or some bullshit like that. Like yeah, that's stuff like that should affect the tournament, but I don't think words really affect the tournament unless it's the severity of the words. Like if people are here talking about like if Silent Fox are here talking about they support Hitler, Hitler's ideas and shit like that, yeah, that's like something like that would be fucking stop the nigga from going. But like nah, I that's why I agree with what DTV was saying, that the intent of everything kind of is lost on people nowadays. They hear someone say something, they just they label it off back, but they don't like. It's all about intent.
So you feel like only violent criminals and
well, no, that's just an exaggeration. But like, no, I feel like I didn't personally see the Zero Blast video, or I like the video of them saying it, but I just know that there were tweets where they were like, I thought there was people bitching about the tweets mainly, but I guess there's a video about it now. So
there's videos on both sides.
Well, I saw the one with LTG. He was kind of out of pocket. Like the shit that he was, like it wasn't even like just calling someone a faggot or whatever. Like it was like he was going in on them. Like damn, like what you gotta talk about they dick like that? Like it's fucked. Like the way he went about it. That's something that kind of deserves it, but I can see why they would ban him, even though he doesn't go to tournaments. Because just like you said, in insurance, or if he did pop up, people would be like, "What the fuck is he here?" Like, you know, like.
All right, so what about when PewDiePie said it?
I don't even remember
Oh,
that.
but that context was horrible. Because
that doesn't help your case.
yeah,
But no. Guess what? He didn't. He said it as an offensive, right?
Yeah, okay.
But nothing happened to him. Nothing
What
happened.
do you mean? He lost his YouTube show. Disney dropped him. YouTube dropped him.
He still has he has almost the most subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the only. He lost a whole bunch of subscribers too. He still has a lot of subscribers, but that's just his fan base.
Millions of views on that shit.
Kassan, do you think he should have been killed and removed from life?
No.
Like what he did was wrong. It was bad. He lost a lot of money and everything.
Yeah.
He actually tried to like knowingly say the hard R, like not like he used it as an insult, or like that's what PewDiePie did. He used the hard R, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, because he was definitely like punished and prosecuted. Like you said, he lost a lot of shit. I mean, he still had a lot of people that supported him no matter what.
Yeah.
That's just his supporters. A lot of companies did drop out on him.
Oh.
Because like that with him, everyone said what he did was wrong. No one disagreed with that. He lost a lot of shit, and a lot of people that stuck with him not because he's a racist or whatever. They stuck with him because
they like his content.
That, and because this was the first time he's ever said anything like that.
Okay.
He's ever done anything like that, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of him uploading shit every day for 10 years, and like that's the one thing.
That's true.
Everyone will recognize it as bad, but would you call?
Like you gotta say it a lot to have to like for that to happen.
He only said it one time, and he was like,
and he recognized it right then and there.
That's true. I'm just saying you have to say the word a good bit.
Shout off to the chinger.
That doesn't just slip out, bro. Like in
Did you watch the video of why he said it?
No.
Who? PewDiePie or?
He was saying he was fucking pissed off because all day or past couple of days he's playing or PUBG or whatever, and he kept getting stream sniped, and that just kept happening to him. And for what he said is out of anger, he said the worst thing that came to mind.
Okay,
That's
not helping his case, bro.
I'm not saying it is either.
It's not helping his case.
That's kind of what I was about to.
I'm not saying it. Again, you gotta listen.
This is not helping his case.
But does that make him a racist?
It doesn't necessarily. But
I don't think.
See, there you go. When someone like with Zero or whatever her name is,
no bro, he's a racist, no bro.
Kassan, when she said that, she was impersonating him. You can say that's good or not. We all would say, yeah, it's kind of bad. She shouldn't have said that. But do you believe she's a racist for saying that?
Probably not. I mean, I believe everyone's racist, but
what?
I believe everyone's racist.
Everybody got a little bit of racism. Everybody
believes do you believe she is racist for saying it?
No. If she's impersonating him, no.
So there you go. She wasn't saying it out of racial intent.
But
so you could argue whether she said
you should know whether or not you should say.
Yeah, that's a completely different argument. But she was banned because people thought she was saying racist shit, which she wasn't. That's where content, like intent, comes down to. You can argue whether or not she should say it or not. Yeah, she probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, that shit.
But she wasn't saying it out of racial bias or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like saying it once doesn't make you a racist, unless you fucking saying that at someone in some rude ass way. Then yeah, you're a racist motherfucker. But I don't know if someone says it and then you can look at them and you actually believe they're a racist, then maybe. If you don't think they're a racist, then they're not.
You know what the funny thing is, DTV? There's a player in the NetherRealm. His name is Tom Brady. And he did the same exact thing as Blast, right?
He impersonated LTG, or is he?
No, he was impersonating the crazy Dominicans, you know, like PD Jr., Crazy Dominican, like all those niggas, right? And how they talk, and he was heated on stream, right? And he was talking about them and like how they speak to him and like how they speak to everybody, and he was like how they, you know, they throw like nigga this, nigga that, and everything.
That's what he said.
Yeah, when he was saying, but he was actually impersonating them. I found it funny because he actually did sound like them, like from what I'm
doing impersonation.
Yeah, he was doing an impersonation of them, and it sounded a lot like them. And he was not persecuted for it at all.
So he did the exact same thing.
Yeah, the exact.
Same and I
see that right there is wrong.
And that's nobody went for him. Then that's the situation. But
nobody said anything.
But not now. It's more looked down upon now. It's a different time. Probably.
This wasn't that long ago. It was like last year.
The Irish community ain't sensitive. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's also what it is too. The community, the Street Fighter community, I feel like has a lot more of LGBT. There's a lot of LGBT players in the NetherRealm community, but I feel like there's a lot more in the Street Fighter games. Probably why some like that gets more looked at. And on top of that, like Howie said, I do feel like the NetherRealm community is a lot less sensitive. Focus on. I hope you was very comfortable this week because I want to know how you were. How was this week for you?
Good. Well, today Wednesday, yeah, it's good.
Great. You picked any flowers today?
No, I do that. I'm not one of those guys.
What guys, huh?
One of those
kind
guys.
Of guy? What do you mean by
one of those guys that picks flowers? One of those guys that picks flowers. That's what.
They know. So does someone want to join the smell of flowers, bitch?
I'm not one of those guys.
You ain't fucking with the florist?
Yeah.
You can't stop a smell of roses, motherfucker. Is that it?
I wake up and remember how
huh? You son of a bitch.
How much you miss Paragon?
God.
And then I go about my day.
It's been like 5 years.
I know, right? Like, fuck.
The game was fun, man.
What about you, DTV? How you been?
Pretty good. Beat that there Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, you didn't talk about that at all last week.
Because I didn't beat it. But that's a swell game right there. That's a good game. Yeah.
I thought you said there's some areas in the market, whatever.
Yeah, but it's only really that one area, which is disappointing. But it ends up getting better throughout the game. Like the combat's good, characters are good. Like my biggest problem with it are it's got that Japanese fucking acting in it to where it's just like no one moves like that.
Right.
Just when you're talking, animated. Yeah, no one moves like that. And it doesn't match the voices. Especially with the English voices, yeah. It's like, how are you doing? And they out here dancing and everything. Like, no.
how are you doing? I mean, the heads are just moving up and down.
And the hard mode is actually bad. Like, it's an actual bad hard mode.
Why?
You can tell it was last minute because hard mode, all it does is enemies hit harder, and you can't use items or regen MP outside of combat.
That sounds awful.
So you have to build your characters by using specific materia, which is like the materials like this. They're the stones or whatever in the game, and they give you powers. Like you can get a heal material that gives you a heal spell, fire, all these different spells and stuff. And you have to give every character healing spells so they can heal each other and themselves, and give them their one weapon that has the best MP regen, and that's it. So it kind of takes away from the creativity and strategy. Like there's no strategy when the one strategy you use is the only one you can use. Because if you don't use those weapons, you're fucked.
Yeah, that sounds really bad.
But besides that, it's fun. It's a good game.
What changes would you have made to the hard mode?
I would have actually added, I don't know, maybe different enemies, more enemies. If they want to limit items being used,
yeah.
At least I don't know, limit the power of them, so you don't like whatever like an ether. That's what you use to get MP back.
Yeah.
Cut that in half, like the potency of it.
For the hard mode?
Yeah, do stuff like that, because in hard mode right now, You can still go to shops and buy items. You can't use them.
What's the point?
And you still pick up items from like the little boxes around, like chests, or from killing mobs. So they're still there. You still pick them up. You can still buy them. You just can't, like, the menu there. It's not even like they removed the menu. It's just grayed out.
What dickheads? Yeah. That does seem like a last minute thing.
So they literally
shit.
They just disabled items and disabled MP regen outside of combat. That's it. That's like 2 lines of code right there.
That sounds like some not well thought out shit.
It's not. I would have added.
That sounds like animating the whole game, but not animating the animation.
I would have added in more. Like a lot of times when you're in fights, like every enemy has a weakness of some kind, and those weaknesses tend to be the same throughout the fight. So if you're fighting like this group of fucking Shinra guards, which is like they're the main bad guys,
Shinra guards,
it'd all be fire. All of them will have the same weakness. Maybe one like of like the stronger enemies in there might have a different thing, but no, it's still all fire. And it'll be like that. Like you'll come up against a group of fucking rats or whatever, and there'll be ice or whatever. To me, I'd throw in different elemental weaknesses in there to mix it up, so it's not just all right. Fire will kill everyone here.
Yeah, that seems kind of like very handholdy.
But they just limited customization for it because you have to make everyone built the same.
I feel like that would have made it a lot better, because I feel like a lot of these hard mode games are very uncreative. Like you said, they just make it so that the enemies deal more damage, have less health.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hard. God of War had a good hard mode because it added different enemies and they had different
and they
strategies.
Hit hard.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't just they hit hard. They actually did different things too. So you had to fight enemies differently.
Yeah.
Not just I gotta play a bit more defensively. You had to actually fight them. Their skills, their tactics differently. That's good. But just making it not fun by limiting what you can do, no. Fuck them. Whole ass motherfuckers.
Well, Howie, how have you been this week?
Sir.
My brother.
Shit, same old. Just I've been doing good. I've been living life. I've been going through mentally the past couple weeks, but I've been had some breakthroughs lately, and I've been doing decent. I've been looking at the job hunt stuff going on, but I mean, the quarantine, ain't no one doing shit. Motherfuckers went crazy inside their room in quarantine.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Inside
Quarantine.
Motherfuckers are here playing with their man boobs and shit for the camera. Like,
no.
like
niggas is out of pocket.
I know. Yeah, I know you know. You fuck.
So, what else has been happening?
Shit. This was 420 this week. If you're a stoner like myself, y'all know damn well that was a fucking good ass holiday. Hope y'all fucking had a great 420 if y'all partake.
Niggas couldn't cop because everybody.
Mondo. What you mean? People. There's one thing. People, if they have the money for it, they gonna go out for weed during this quarantine, bro. I'm telling you right now. Niggas go out there. Niggas going out for weed all the time.
You kids have to stop messing with that devil's lettuce. It's not good for you.
Devil's oregano.
Smoking big packs of oregano.
Big old dicks.
No, I don't know about that.
Big old flakes.
How you doing though, Mondo?
I'm doing pretty good. I actually had an interview. I had it on the phone.
You stole that from me
today for a security job.
Okay.
I think it went pretty well. Lady told me that I should be able to start working as soon as everything opens back up.
Mono got hired for a really, really nice drug cartel. They gave him a suit and everything.
Yeah, this place, she was telling me about it. She was like, on the first day, you get fitted for a custom suit. And that's the suit that you got to wear to work every day.
Do you have to pay for that suit, though?
Nope. It's part of the job.
Who do you report to?
Because a lot of times with the uniforms, you end up paying for it throughout your... Like, they'll just take the money
Yeah,
out.
they take it out of your check for the first week.
Did you ask?
Wait, well, she said that it was free of charge. That, like, you don't get charged for the suit at all.
Oh, if they shed free, then yeah. They gonna get you later, though.
Yeah, we gonna take that first Christmas bonus. But they said that because when they said I would report to my supervisor, whoever my supervisor is at that post.
Oh, okay. Can you ask them if you get another suit? What if you like? What if your one suit gets dirty the day before you gotta work?
Damn, I don't know. It's probably only the first one free.
What if like you're after? What if like you're fresh off of a shift and you want to get frisky, and then your shoe gets like beer on there and shit?
That's my fault. Once I'm off
Yeah.
company time, if I do something, that's my fault.
Better put that shit in the bag. Keep it safe.
Get them little plastic hangers, plastic bags on them.
Yeah, I tell you one thing though. If someone's about to rob that bitch, you want to blow that whistle like Green Ranger blowing that flute.
Dude, I'm ducking under that counter so fast. Security? Where?
Mondo, you should buy a bunch of shirts afterwards. Because you know you're going to be sitting in a suit all day, you're going to be sweating.
Yeah.
You don't want them stains popping out.
I don't want my titties, my nipples showing through.
Hey, yo. Down there, Yola.
Damn, son, some brown ass nipple.
Got pizza under there?
I'm glad y'all doing well. Do you guys think that a game needs a tournament scene in order for you to take it seriously?
Depends on how serious.
I think the game needs to be alive for me to take it seriously. If there's a community that backs it, depending if there's a tournament scene or not. Well, if there's a community behind it that backs the game, then there's gonna be tournaments for the game. Because the community's gonna give a fuck about it, because that's what the FTC originally was, grassroots. Yeah,
but nowadays tournaments are out before there's a community.
Nowadays.
Yeah, that's one of the selling points that developers try to give. Is like, oh, there's gonna be tournaments for this game. There's gonna be a ranked mode for this game.
Nah, I think as long as there's a community behind the game, that's what interests me.
I agree. Well, I would say I disagree with what you're saying in terms of if there's a community behind it, then there will be tournaments. Because that's not true. There's a big community behind Battlefront 2. And there's 0 tournaments for that game.
Well, see, that's why I gotta start. I'm thinking about making tournaments for that shit, like team tournaments.
Is it gonna be heroes villains, or like what's the main mode?
Heroes villains.
It would have to be heroes versus villains, Kassan. Because how the fuck would you have a 24-man tournament?
Shit, I don't know.
Like every single 24 people on one team.
That's a lot of cash players.
That should be looking like a Fortnite tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Whoever gets top 1.
No, but each team is 24 people.
Whoever gets top 1, they gotta compete in the last minute.
I want to see. That's one thing I want to start out. I want to look into front things, see what the community is for that shit for heroes versus villains.
Also, how
there is community, there is text for that shit. There is tech for that shit that is shared amongst people.
There is, but that game also doesn't have any structure in it to run tournaments. Like, there's no private match system in Battlefront 2. There's no local play system in Battlefront 2. So it is actually impossible to run a tournament for the game unless you contact the developers.
There's also no balance system.
Shut up, bro. We're not gonna get into that.
They have made balance patches on the game.
Just trying to make me mad, and it's working.
They have attempted to balance the game.
It's not that unbalanced. It's not
That's
that unbalanced.
Story.
It's not that unbalanced. I will argue to death.
So,
what was the question again?
Does a game need to have a tournament scene in order for you, specifically you, to take it seriously?
I feel like no, it doesn't. As long as I like the game, then I can take it however I want to take it. If I like the game, I'm going to play it. But it doesn't need to have a tournament backing. Doesn't really matter to me.
What are the games that you take seriously?
Smite, I guess. Smite and
tournament scene.
I thought you hated that game.
Yeah, it does have a tournament scene, but when it came out, it just came out as regular, like a MOBA. I didn't think it would have tournament. Pretty much, it's gonna have tournaments behind it because it's online only and it's versus only. So, but I didn't get into it because of tournaments. I got it because I like the look of the game. It looked cool.
Do you feel when tournaments did get announced for it though? Do you feel like you took it any more seriously because of that?
No, not really. Tournaments don't matter to me, bro. They're cool. I'll watch them because they get cool moments and shit. But other than that, I don't care for tournaments really. Paragon probably had tournaments, but I never watched them. I only played the game a lot.
And that's why the game died. No one was watching the tournaments.
Yeah, they need tournaments.
They need one more person to watch.
They need a tournament.
DTV, do you feel like a game needs to have a tournament scene in order for you to take it serious?
No, but it depends on how serious are you taking. Are you fucking screaming at people?
Well, I mean, you gonna do that regardless, so.
I do it.
Oh no, I'm gonna do that just in
bad.
here.
Only if you're bad.
Then I'm gonna find them outside, but no. Like it depends on how serious you're taking it.
I think that definitely does play a factor into it too.
Personally, I don't really take games like serious, but like, if you're bad, I'm gonna tell you you're bad.
Son, yeah, you do.
I don't take it that seriously. But if you're bad, I'm gonna say you back. Like, what the fuck?
We were just playing Valorant earlier, and
bro, the guy was looking at the floor. Yo, nah. Listen.
There's a questionable player there. And Kassan, instead of getting a little frustrated, he said, "Ah!"
Yeah, bro, listen. Like, come on, son. It's obvious. The guy's looking at me and shooting at me from heaven, which is, you can see that.
But like
that, was just sitting there looking at the floor doing nothing.
But at that point, not everyone is that good at those games, especially these games, the CS:GO, weird fucking gun mechanics. And the game's been out for 2 days, depending on who you are, because some people don't even have access to it.
Just watch people. That's like a part of regular shit. It's like a situational awareness, bro. He's not shooting at you. He's not nothing. He's not even looking at you. He's shooting at me. So just peek and get the kill, so I can go up and play. But no, he waited till I died, until he hopped down, and then he got the kill, and then he died to another person because he didn't have help. If he would have peeked the guy, he would have killed him, and I would have planted. He would have had help, and he would have had better information. But he didn't do that. So.
And you wanted to harm his family afterwards, didn't you?
There you go. I feel like I want to say that me personally, I don't need a tournament scene to take it seriously, but I'm not gonna sit here in front like there's not a correlation between the games I take seriously and being a, because I really do enjoy games like Battlefront 2 and Bleeding Edge. Okay? But at the end of the day, there's not really many people for me to like compare myself to, or for me to feel like there's another challenger. Like, cause in Bleeding Edge and Battlefront 2, I feel like I'm one of the best people in the world with the characters I play, and there's really no other information out there to challenge that theory that I have about myself. Whereas in other games,
Mondo.
Like,
see that you just want a ranked mode.
Yeah, like I would appreciate.
You can ask for that, but that's not.
I want to ask you a question, Mondo.
What's up?
Are there any tournaments for Bleeding Edge?
No, there isn't.
If there were, would you attend them?
If there were online tournaments, I definitely would attend them.
What if they're LAN tournaments? I think you have to do that LAN. If you'll be like, there's an unfortunate situation with Wi-Fi or online.
Yeah, I mean, I would see that if there are tournaments locally for it. Thing is, I would have, the reason why I say online is because I don't have a local team. I don't know people in my neighborhood that play the game. I would only be able to.
True. I
would definitely take the game more seriously, knowing that okay, there's a bunch of other great players out there, and we can all start meddling.
But you have a reason to take it serious now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With Bleeding Edge and Battlefront 2 specifically, I wanted to get good at those games, and I am good at those games now, but I feel like there's nothing there that's gonna make me push myself to be better. Like I'm perfectly fine with the level I am at those games, because there's nobody that I'm trying to beat, nobody that I'm trying to work against. I don't feel like I have anything to prove.
So that sounds more like you just want a ranked play that puts you up against better players, as opposed to an actual tournament scene out there.
Better people.
Yeah, but I mean, the question was if, in order for you to take it seriously, and if there was a ranked mode in the game, then yeah, I would take it more seriously. But if there was tournaments, I feel like that means more. I would want to. If there was a tournament scene that I wanted to participate in, I would take it more seriously than if there was a ranked mode that I would want to participate.
I tend to avoid ranked modes personally.
Yeah, some of them are trash.
They got people like me, but worse.
I find ranked modes ruin the game.
Yeah,
because it makes people take the shits
People take it to the heart. Like they take it like they family on the line or some shit, or their life on the line. That's why I avoid ranked modes.
It ruins the casual mode by everyone just being in there, be like, oh, it's casual though. It doesn't matter. It's like, at the end of the day, just play.
You can at least try or play. Don't like.
You don't have to take it hard, but don't fucking team kill.
Yeah, I feel
don't
like
throw. I hate all those people in Siege.
I was gonna say, I feel like the major offender of what DTV is talking about is Overwatch. Overwatch, once they added that ranked mode into the game, the community became so fucking toxic.
Because in the regular quick play, you can't go and have a good game.
No, you
can't. People just fucking shit around. And, it's just casuals.
Oh, you get mad in quick play? You get mad in quick play. Go play ranked for that.
Yeah.
Like, suck my dick.
People
play the game and have fun.
That's why I avoid ranked modes. People are assholes.
Like Siege. I just want to fucking play that shit. The end. I don't care if I win or lose. I just want to have some good games.
Yeah.
And casual, it's people leaving every second. You get put in matches halfway through.
People trolling.
Yeah, people are trolling, team killing, all that. It's like, why? Then you go to ranked, and people are losing their shit because you didn't get that shot.
Because you missed one bullet.
I was like, damn, yo. The boy saw me with the pixel. How am I supposed to counter that?
Exactly.
That's the thing. I don't like it when ranked modes completely take over every other mode in the game. Like DTV, from what you're saying in CGTV, it seems like there's no reason to play the casual mode.
There isn't.
Just play the ranked mode. That's pretty much the only.
But then the ranked mode is toxic.
Yeah.
Which in turn makes casual toxic. Yeah. That's why I don't think rank should be in games.
I think rank should be there, but they should do like Gears of War does a really good job at this. Their ranked modes are just King of the Hill, Team Deathmatch, right? But then their quick play modes have like some of them have like these fun, like there's basically a gun game mode in the game, or it's called arms race, or there's like shotguns only, and like there's these bunch of different things that make it fun and interesting and different from the ranked mode, and it gives you a reason to play the casual modes over the ranked mode or whatever. It's just like, depending on the type of player or person you are, you can still play the casual mode seriously because
there's more racist people playing it.
No, Gears. To be honest, Gears is not a very racist community. It is a very aggressive community.
I don't know about that one.
I haven't experienced much racism. I've experienced.
You got people calling people beandos and shit.
Oh yeah.
I think
that shit.
I don't think
that is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
I don't think you're playing around Gears, bro.
First game of Gears I played, motherfucker called me a puta. I'm like, what?
What the fuck is that?
It's like, hey, yo.
Call him a puta.
Like, damn.
He said it without the accent.
Oh, he said puta. I didn't know what the fuck he said.
He said it without the accent.
I ain't got the accent, so I ain't saying it.
Yo, I feel like this kind of goes into the next topic, which is, should devs appeal to casuals or hardcore fans? I feel like it should be a bit of both, to be honest, because casuals are the ones buying the game and hardcore fans are the ones who are going to keep it, right? But as a developer, if you cater to one side more than the other, then either a lot of people are going to buy your game initially, but then it won't have the longevity to last, or your game will have the longevity because you cater to all the hardcore fans, but it's not gonna get a bunch of sales because you didn't put anything in there to bring in the casuals. And I feel like one of the prime examples of that is NetherRealm games. They have a lot of modes in there, like the arcade, the towers, the crypt, story mode. They have stuff like that in there to get people to initially buy it. Like, okay, this game is definitely worth $60. Casuals will play it, and some of them will keep playing it for a few weeks after they buy it. But then they have the multiplayer in there for hardcore fans, and they balance it and stuff like that. But Kasson, how do you feel about this? Think that they should cater to one side more than the other?
I think that should fit. Well, if you're a developer of a game, you should find a healthy balance, because if you cater to only casuals, then your hardcore fans are gonna be, up your ass about, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You're just doing that to appease casual players. And then vice versa. You appease the hardcore fans. The casuals will be, spamming emails and shit and sending people letters. Oh, why does this game do this? Why does this game have to have a specific thing to do a certain thing? So you should find a healthy in between. Well, a game like, for example, a game like Warframe.
Yeah.
I used to play Warframe a lot. Like a lot. I invested a lot of hours in it, but I stopped because they didn't have account linking. And I don't feel like grinding back up from level 1. But that's besides the point. Right now, there's like an argument within that community that the devs DE are only appealing to the casual players, the newer players. They're only introducing stuff so that the newer players can basically do stuff. They don't have like end game content. Yeah, you can do survivals all day, but that's boring as fuck. Nobody wants to do that. And they just had a new event that came out. It was called like Scarlet Spear, and apparently that was like, it was a 2-part mode. From the outside looking in, it looks cool, but from doing it, people say it's boring as fuck because on one there's you have to have 2 teams. One team will go to these things called relays, and they'll send like beacons or messages down to the players on the Earth. Because like I said, there's 2 teams. One team goes to the relays, and one team goes to wherever planet. So the players on the relays have to send this information to the players on the planet to do like this certain thing or whatever. But apparently it's just very boring. And it's not very hard.
When Street Fighter 5 came out, there was ranked mode, and that was it. You could only play people online, and there was like these little combo trials and the survival mode that you can do but nobody wants to fucking do that. And they charged $60 for this game. Street Fighter 5 was
they got my ass. They got my ass good.
Yeah, I bought it too, but Street Fighter 5 I think was one of Capcom's like worst selling games of this generation. I think it probably is their worst selling game of this generation. It did horribly. Horribly, and like not until now more people are starting to buy it because they finally started to add the modes.
Don't they got the arcade edition?
Yeah,
the modes
that includes everything now.
Oh shit, I forgot about Marvel's Capcom Infinite. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh man,
that game was dead on arrival, bro.
I feel like Marvel was kind of the.
That's because it's a good game. It has good gameplay, but like there's everything else in it. It's just...
That was a dev thing, I think.
I feel like that's more of a case of them trying to appeal too much to casual, and that's why it failed. Marvel's Capcom.
The game.
Why?
Because they pushed so
the gameplay
hard.
for Infinite was good.
Yeah, okay, the gameplay was good, but they pushed so hard for the story mode, right? And they tried to make the game look realistic. I feel like they tried to copy the NetherRealm fighting game formula so that they can sell the game to casuals, but people don't buy Marvel vs. Capcom for that reason. They really fucked up with that. That story mode was awful. The graphics, they tried to go for more realism, but it didn't fit the characters at all. Like the game didn't.
That was no realism at all.
Yeah, it was definitely. They tried to be more realistic than Marvel 3. Definitely.
I think Marvel 3 looks better than Infinite.
I agree. I think Marvel 3 looks way better than
I like the more comic book style.
Infinite looks like it's stuck between 2 different art styles, and I don't know which it is. They don't look realistic. They still have anime proportions, anime fucking.
You got Ryu with them big ass feet and knuckles,
big in hands. Yeah, they don't look like anything. They're weird looking.
Yeah,
they're weird looking. Weird.
BTV, do you think that they should appeal to the casuals or hardcore?
Just want to have balance.
It depends. I'd say that, obviously there's always it should be for both, but depends on the game. I would maybe put casual above hardcore because hardcore could end up killing the game easily.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Just because a lot of hardcore players just see when something gets streamlined in a game, they bitch and
they hate it
playing and say, "Oh, you're making it easy." No,
it wasn't like this in the last game.
It's like hard. Sometimes things just don't need to be that. It's not complex because it's, oh, this makes it a hard game, but you got to think about it. No, it was just complex because it was just poorly designed, and people confuse poor design with complexity. But no, like this was streamlined because it makes fucking sense to streamline it now, and that's not making the game easier. That's just that's a quality of life thing. And a lot of people confuse that with a lot of the hardcore players I've come across, like in Final Fantasy, they confuse streamlining
Streamline
with
trying to appease the casuals.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's like-
Final Fantasy, it does have a problem of it is making like you can streamline things to an extent. It did a lot of things good. That's just like, yeah, it doesn't have to be like that. But then there's other things where maybe you went a little too far, and you did make it a little easy. But that was just for that one thing, not for everything else.
Like one thing, one major example I can think about right now is a game like Metal Gear. They've in Metal Gear Solid 5, I feel like they made it kind of easier, but at the same time, it caters very much to hardcore fans of the Metal Gear series. But
I think 5 feels easier when you compare it to the older games,
yeah,
but it's just a different type of game.
it is. But the thing is, as someone who has played the other Metal Gears, not heavily, just a little bit, and then playing this one, the controls feel so fucking awful. Like the game does not feel accessible at all. And
Wait, which game?
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Metal Gear 5.
And you think
I think the controls for that game are really bad. The checkpoint system in the game is giving as well, and there's just some quality of life things that you was talking about that I feel like if they were in that game, it would have gotten me to play it longer.
like that? The controls, I don't think that's the thing. I don't control like quality of life stuff isn't hardcore.
Yeah.
It's not casual either. That's just quality of life. That's just making like bad controls are bad controls. Like there's no
The thing is, though,
Argument
to me,
about
like
it.
when I was talking about bad
Get me out of your
controls
crouch.
to some of these Metal Gear fans, they were telling me that the control system is a part of the game, it's a part of the experience.
no. That's the
It's
thing.
like that. For
That's what I'm talking about. Hardcore fans confuse streamlining with making it casual. When no, it just Metal Gear games they control bad. Metal Gear 4 is my favorite game on PS4 or PS3. That game has bad controls. You can play it, get used to it, and there you go. But that doesn't just because you got used to something doesn't make it good. You can get used to anything, but no, that doesn't make it good.
Even with the
How do you crouch in those games, ETV?
I think it's fucking square.
It's like square or X or something like that. Some weird shit. And like one really good example of why that's bullshit to the Metal Gear fans. Resident Evil games used to have awful control. They were called tank control, right? And fans of the Resident Evil games, they got used to them. But there's a reason why they changed. You know, like starting from Resident Evil 4 all the way on to now, they got rid of that tank control bullshit, and the controls for Resident Evil games feel so much better now. And you can still have that horror experience without feeling like you're controlling a fucking shit. Stuff like that. Howie, how do you feel? Do you think that they should appease more the casuals or hardcore fans?
I think I think there should be a balance between it. Because I feel like if you lean towards too much towards the voice of the people who actually fuck with these games, like hardcore and like the ins and outs and do research and shit like that, then that might not fit to the casuals basically the audience who think it's basically the audience that is just getting into the game. So if you use too much of them, then there's not going to be a whole new influx of new players because it's going to be a game that's these developers are listening towards the guy or the people who were playing the games up until that point, like Street Fighter 4. Like I feel like on Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5, that was the thing that people complained about. Street Fighter 4 was a game that was very much a game. It was very very much a love letter to like the Street Fighter community. That I know you say you didn't like it, Mono, because it's the last game and because of all these other decisions, but a lot of the
it's just Street Fighter 4. My problem with it was not accessible. Like it was
exactly
the initial learning curve for the game was so high that even when I got there to it, I did not enjoy the game because it was still just. It felt like it was so hard to play. Like I felt like the game was against me. Like I could like completely dumb it down, right? Like only punish people with fireballs or throws, or you can. I just feel like that initial part of the game was so difficult for no reason at all that it made me just not want to fucking play. Whereas Street Fighter 5, they changed it and made that initial just doing combos how it should be. Like that should not be a hard part of your game.
Yo, the FADC, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of this thing like Street Fighter 4. There was a lot of one frame links. That's a game where I was very heavy. That's the last game that I think one frame links are a very big part of. Because I think like after that shit, I don't remember many games that had one frame links. And the thing they did, they weren't like they weren't that optimal. There's other shit that you could do that were more optimal than that, you know.
And that's the thing that I feel like with these views, talking about quality of life changes, that was a good quality of life change. If you are someone who is like so keen on execution, then keep playing Street Fighter 4. Keep playing these, old games that have that. Like people who play fighting games now or want to get into fighting games now, that's gonna deter them. If just doing a basic combo is that fucking hard, then why the fuck would I want to play this game? Any other game where to play it is easy. You just play it. If you want to get good at it, you just gain knowledge on the game or whatever. But you don't have to be mechanically fucking excellent in order just to do basic shit in the game.
Facts.
You got anything more to add on that, Howie?
Not really. It's pretty much like what I wanted to cover on it.
That's been episode 7. Play a Matchup podcast. Let us know what you think in the comments. I want to see y'all chatting. Hashtag fuck the mobile community. I've been your host, JJmondo, joined again by, same niggas who here every week. Howie, DTV, Kasson.
Oh, man.
And we catch y'all later.
Rest in peace, Paragon.